Come on, boys. Come on. Come on. We're off to Wembley, man. 6 goals tonight at Stamford Bridge. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Like, with how this season's been going, yeah, we can't be taking wins like this for granted. This was probably one of the most perfect wins under Mauricio Pochettino. I'm seeing 6 goals. I'm seeing youth players being given an opportunity. I need to catch my breath, boys. Players using their best positions. And I'm seeing top performances on the field. My God, it's all I'm asking for. It's all I've ever wanted. And tonight, we got everything plus more and what was a stupidly dominant performance. And I'm really hoping that with this game that we all saw tonight, whoa, this is going to be like the turnaround point of the season that we've been waiting for right now. Because I'm thinking to myself, yo, and Kunku will be back very soon. Gusto is going to be back very soon. Imagine adding this quality to this type of team and lineup. The possibilities are looking a bit endless right now. Things looking exciting. And we have booked a place in Wembley, at Wembley. Carabao Cup final. Emphatic second leg win. One of the highest second leg wins in a semi-final in Carabao Cup history. This is a big moment for the team right now and for all the players based on all the hardships we've seen this season. And let's now finally hope that this is the kickoff this season as needed, my friends. So my friends, if you guys are gassed by the win, if you're happy with the performances, hit that like button, go crazy with the like button. And now let's break down what was a dominant performance at Stamford Bridge. And I think the best way to start this review off is by quickly discussing the lineup we saw, because, you know, I got the lineup right, other than Conor Gallagher being out the team, of course, having Caicedo there alongside Enzo Fernandez. And, you know, I gave my reasons in the preview as to why I wanted to see this particular lineup, because it's like, we have to go for it. We need to attack. We need to show what we're about right now. We have to prioritize getting goals. If we lead the game, we can focus on protecting the lead, and that's exactly what we did in this game today. But the only difference was we didn't use a 4-2-3-1. This was a 4-3-3. We were seeing Cole Palmer on the right-hand side of a midfield 3 and Enzo Fernandez on the left-hand side of a midfield 3. And I think Enzo, I want to quickly discuss his game, especially in that first half, because he was getting some criticisms based on the fact that he wasn't playing deeper, playing alongside Caicedo in that pivot. But there's a reason as to why Pochettino is moving away from this. And we have to remember that we have been using 4-3-3 for nearly this entire season. Right now, Caicedo is looking stronger. He's looking mentally sharper and fitter. He had a tough start to this season, but I think he's finally shaking all of that off right now, because this guy can operate to a world-class level as our lone DM, where he's quietly effective, keeps the team ticking, and he's closing down the danger. By doing this, you can have Enzo Fernandez playing as an 8. And listen, I want to say this quickly here. Enzo isn't just some deep line release to playmaker type of player. I mean, throughout his whole career, he's had the license to get forward. He's been playing as a box-to-box mid throughout like nearly 50% of his entire career at Benfica. Florentino Luis was the ball-winning midfield player that would, you know, sit deep to allow Enzo Fernandez to get forward. Let's not forget, Enzo can affect the game in all different phases, and especially inside the box. And today, I thought Enzo looked very good playing as R8 on that left-hand side. And you might think to yourself, Nini, we've seen Enzo play as an 8 before. Like, he'll go back to playing bad again. Don't get carried away because it's Middlesbrough. Now, I'm going to answer this question here. And the difference as to why Enzo was cooking as an 8 today is simply based on the fact that we have a natural left back on the field. Because as I've said throughout the season, when Enzo has played 8 most of the time, he has to make these lateral runs out wide to help double up with the winger. He's far away from the goal. He's in the wide positions. He's not affecting nothing, and that's why he lacked that influence. But by having Ben Chilwell, our natural left back in the team, holding the width, making those inverted runs, those overlaps, we finally can create those triangles out wide on the left-hand side with Ben on the left, Madueke alongside him, and Enzo Fernandez being able to play more centrally based on having 2 other players picking up positions that Enzo used to have to do for the team. That is the biggest difference, and I really think that Enzo Fernandez as an 8 can go on to new levels, and he can really show that he isn't just about passing and looking good, but this is a complete midfield player that can affect the game in all passages. And I think today was a great reminder of that, because he took his goal very well. The ball was coming behind him, but he just placed the shot in the top left corner and he made that 2-0. But is this a sign of things we might be seeing now in 2024? This 4-3-3 with like Caicedo, Enzo on the left, Palmer on the right hand side, maybe Conor Gallagher has the opportunity to like become the competition figure in that midfield. I think that could make a lot more sense now that we have a natural left back and fullbacks coming back in this team. So I wanted to get this key point out of the way, because I thought that Enzo looked very good in that first half. But wow, did we just absolutely blow away Middlesbrough? The start was a little slow, but if you really think about it, they weren't creating many opportunities against us. We were in complete control. We nullified all their counter-attacks. And I just like that this was a type of performance where we didn't look one-dimensional in terms of how we looked to break them down. That was the key thing. We had the right players in the right positions occupying those spaces. That was, taking the attention of the Middlesbrough players, where they were getting dragged out of position. It was happening time and time and time again. And it's no surprise that when you lead against these types of teams, you just absolutely turn the complexion of the game around. You start getting in Middlesbrough heads. They start losing confidence. They have to drag themselves mentally to get back into the game. On top of that, of course, you're boosting the confidence of the fans. They're going to be more happy if you score an earlier goal. They're going to celebrate more, and that's going to transmit back to the players who will start to play a lot more confidently. And as that first half was going on, is it any surprise that we scored more goals and more goals and more goals? Of course, up steps Axel Ivanovic, or whatever you want to call him tonight. It was his best Ivanovic impersonation, Disasi scoring a goal, and of course, most importantly, getting that assist as well, which found Enzo Fernandez. He looked good playing as a right back in this game today, and I think it helps that he had the license actually to get forward quite a lot based on how we were just occupying that Middlesbrough defensive structure with our attacking players. And obviously after that, of course, is it any surprise that Cole Palmer's going to get on the score sheet? And come on, my guys, his performance throughout the game today, listen, I think he might, in my opinion, edge being the man of the match, because Cole Palmer was showing his flair, his personality on the field. And most importantly, it's not just personality on our end products. The end products is there. 2 goals tonight. He was unlucky not to get an assist. A beautiful passing behind to find Disasi in the second half. And it's like doing all of this, as a 21-year-old. He's one of the best under-21 players in the top 5 leagues in Europe right now. I said he was about to blow. I never knew this kid was going to blow this hard when he signed for us. But 13 goals, 7 assists is looking absolutely stupid. It's been a long time since we've had a player that's reached double digits for goals and assists with such class and confidence. And I think Cole Palmer, I don't want to start getting too carried away, but he has potential star boy in the making qualities at this football club, because the way he's instantly come here, not fazed by nothing, and he's running things straight off the bat. And it's like not just running things, like the quality, the ability, the positional understanding, where he's seamlessly playing on the right side of the midfield, and then he's playing as a 10, then he's playing false 9. It's just like, come on, like Man City, I'll give you a lot of credit for producing this for you, yeah, and you messed up by not keeping him, but now he's our guy. So Cole Palmer today, in my opinion, was the man of the match. And I think once we took that 4-0 lead into the second half, effectively the game was over, right? Obviously, we didn't have to force nothing. And I love the fact that the game management was absolutely perfect in that second half. I mean, number one, Poch made the subs at the right time. Ben doesn't have to play more than 60 minutes in this game. He did well, and this guy did very well today, especially with that assist he made for the first goal, inviting inside and playing the ball outside of his foot. But, this is the type of quality we've been missing, and it's like you don't have to force anything. Let him rest and let him be ready for our next game, right? Outside of that too, lots of players came off, and I like the fact that Pochettino gave good substantial minutes to youth players. Gilchrist coming on, this boy looks confident, he ain't phased, he's been waiting for this moment, right? Obviously, Chukwuemeka showing nice little flashes of that skill that we've been missing out on. And he's so unfortunate that he picked up that injury against West Ham. But it's great that he's back for us right now. And I think he's going to add even more to this team as we hope to kind of push on now and try and fight for a Champions League spot. And of course, we can't forget Leo Castledine finally making his first team debut. He's been on the bench a few times, but today was the moment for him to play. And listen, we didn't see too much. It's not his fault, but, he looked quite confident and it looked like he was ready to take his moment as well too. But, outside of those moments, I like the fact that a lot of these guys who came on didn't actually just take the win for granted. They didn't take the lead we created for them for granted. It's like, come on, you guys are like the subs. You're the backup players. You're the competition players. Take your moment. Make the manager wake up and realise something. And we scored 2 goals. It was nice to see Conor Gallagher, getting 2 assists in like 5 minutes. And, Gallagher's been one of our most improved, best performing players this season. But you think to yourself when, Nkunku's fully fit, and now that Caicedo is getting stronger and stronger alongside Enzo Fernandez, it's going to be hard to fit everyone in the team together, right? But just because players don't start doesn't mean that they can't impact the game when they come on off the bench. And I think that if you could have Gallagher coming on to just maintain the intensity levels for like the final, 30, 35 minutes of a game, for me, it feels like a bit like a cheat code because his commitment, the tenacity, and the fact that, he plays forward and he creates. I think he's up there now with Cole Palmer in terms of assists for the season. I think that's like, maybe 6 or 7 assists this season for Conor Gallagher. He's playing the support role superbly well throughout the season, and to utilise this in like the final moments of games could really just take our overall team performance to the next level. Because I think one thing we know is that we can't maintain intensity for 90 minutes straight. But if we can have Pochettino's game management, taking players off at the right time, bringing on the right players at the right in-game moments, I feel like we could maybe do better in terms of maintaining the intensity levels over 90 minutes, and that's where Gallagher could definitely help us. Great assist to find Cole Palmer, who made 2 goals for the night, and Madueke, of course, took his finish with absolute aplomb. And boys, like I said, man, this was the perfect win tonight that had everything I've been waiting to see throughout the season, and I got even more than I originally expected. Obviously, maybe the only small negative I would say might be Mudryk, who didn't play too well today, and I think rightfully he had to get subbed off. But then to look at it on the plus side, if players aren't performing, we have quality on that bench that can come on and make something happen. And I think Madueke, he is taking his opportunities right now. He scored another goal for us, and maybe the next game is going to be Sterling on the left and Madueke on the right hand side, and I think that would be fair based on how performances are going right now. But anyway, my friends, we have booked the spot at Wembley, and I think it's an amazing achievement that, something Pochettino has set this team out to accomplish. Get to the final, win the Carabao Cup. For a young team like us, this is what they need, because I feel like that's only going to help their big game temperament when it comes to playing in these high pressure, like knockout style games here. And the fact that they're all just taking to their roles superbly well this season, it's one of the, only positives this season. But irrespective of the fact if we don't get Champions League football, if we can get some silverware, that will still be a success in my opinion, based on the circumstances of the team right now. So my friends, 6-1 win against Middlesbrough. Top performances, exciting moments, great goals, and just absolute dominance and control. And listen, hopefully this is a sign of what 2024 is set to be. So my friends, on that note, I am Nini FC. This is Blue Lions TV. I will see you guys all tomorrow with the news video, because we've got to talk about Benzema, and I'll be bringing the What We Learned video to break this game down too. So I'll see you then. Cool.